Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Zen Garcia of sacredwordpublishing.com, and this is my good friend Nathan Thompson, who is the lead of the largest Facebook group on flat earth discussions, global debate. And so he is currently running around the world in an RV, flat smacking and in looking for the curvature, which he still hasn't found. So he's going to talk about the tour that he and his friends are doing in the RV, the places that he's going, and possibility of you, if you go to the website, coming out to meet him and having even hosting them if possible in your city.
Hosting us isn't too hard.
No, not at all. You know, RV just to hook up for electricity, water.
And we don't need fancy electricity hookups, just a normal outlet you charge your phone with and a hose, and we're set. So if anyone's on the way along our journey, my email is flatearthflyers@gmail.com. Send me a phone number, because if you don't send me a phone number, I have to call everyone and make sure they are who they say they are. They're real. They're not trying to troll us. They're not trying to waste our time. So please do that for me. Send a phone number. And yeah, we started in Virginia, and we're on our way all the way. We're going to go all the way around Texas, up to Oklahoma, maybe cut across to Phoenix and Vegas and hit Southern California where my family's at. And then we want to go north all the way to Oregon and Washington, and then go Columbia River, back across, end up at Niagara Falls. And then we want to go to Boston, maybe even up to Maine, and come right back down the coast to Virginia and end the tour. So the first leg of the tour started in Virginia. We've been in North Carolina. We went to South Carolina. We did a time lapse at the Georgia Guidestones, where the people don't know this, but the Georgia Guidestones are a compass, a calendar, and a clock. So they're a compass in that they have a hole in them that points directly towards Polaris every day, year after year, which would not work if we were on a ball blasting through space. The Globers say we have something called stellar parallax, which is everything in the sky is changing, but then in the next sentence they're going to say, well, there's 88 constellations and the Northern Pole Star is the middle of all of them. I mean, that's what we observe.
Yes.
So the sky is a map and a clock. They know this. That's why we have celestial navigation based on the sky. Right. They've been doing astroarchaeology, lining up megalithic structures like the Georgia Guidestones. Yes. And they also have a slit in the top that'll tell you exactly when is high noon. So it's a compass, it's a clock, and it's also a calendar too. They've got a horizontal slit in the Guidestones that tracks the path of the sun. As soon as it rises above the horizon, or when it's setting, you can view it from either side. So,
does it have a built-in as far as the equinoxes with that slit? You know, because
I think when it reaches one end of the slit, it's one equinox, and then when it reaches the other end, it's another equinox. Yes, so that's basically how you know when it's changing from summer to winter.
Solstices.
4 seasons is a hoax. There's only really 2 seasons, in my opinion. When the sun's coming towards you, and when it's going away from you. Yes. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. That's where we get the symbol for infinity. Is a sun and a lima. But the sign for infinity is a perfect figure 8. The actual sun and a lima is lopsided. Right. The northern loop is smaller than the southern loop, and the points are not equidistant in the north as they are in the south. They're actually greater distances between each point in the south. They're much more compact and closer together in the north, which would allude to the idea that the sun is actually speeding up and slowing down while it's making its circuit. So, and we're going to do all tests. We almost called it the Test All Things Tour, because I mean, for 4 years I've been telling everyone, stars don't intersect the marine horizon. Right. If the Earth is curved, and that's what boats are going over, well then stars would go over the curve. Yes. Just like the sunset goes over the curve, right? Even though we see it sometimes fade away into a little dot above the horizon. Yes. I'm actually the only vanishing point. Yeah, vanishing point. I'm the only person I know that's gotten the moon way above the horizon, shrinking into a little dot. Yes. And that doesn't work on the heliocentric model. I mean, it's a fixed distance and a fixed size. And optically it might change a little due to refraction, but it would never vanish above the horizon. So you got the star trails that we're going to do above the horizon. We want to test the cold moonlight. We don't have a FLIR, but we can use a laser thermometer. FLIRs are really expensive, but if anyone has a FLIR on the journey, we'd love to use yours whenever we come to your city. We were looking for a tow dolly, but y'all blessed us with that yesterday. Now we have a tow dolly. So there's a 37-foot RV. We got a van behind, so that when we pull up somewhere, we can go to the grocery store, go to the restaurant, go to the Flat Earth meetup, whatever we're doing. Someone donated a drone. So just this morning we were flying the drone outside Zen's house, and the footage is spectacular. Amazing. We flew the drone over Stonehenge. We were talking to everyone at Stonehenge, man. When people are awake to what's going on at Stonehenge, the Georgia Guidestones, yeah. Sorry. When people are awake at the Georgia Guidestones, but they didn't know that the earth was flat. So literally they're just ready for a download. All we had to do was tell them, hey guys, these people are lying about the shape of the earth. This is a compass, the calendar, and the clock. Here's how it proves the earth is not a spinning ball. And it was so easy. Some people were just like, tell me more. I mean, for 10 or 15 minutes, just pouring into them.
Right.
And there's been so many synchronicities on this trip. It's insane. First of all, Chris hit us up and said, I want to drive you around in the RV, which was pretty random.
That's awesome.
That doesn't always happen. He showed up while we were having a Flat Earth meetup at the house. I surprised Austin. Austin didn't even know Chris was coming. He thought we were going to meet him halfway along the trip. And we were going to do the first leg of the tour in the van. Showed up right away. And so yesterday, when we were pulling up to the Georgia Guidestones, there was a guy there waiting at the stop sign when we pull in. He's just waiting there. And I'm like, what is this guy doing, right? So I roll my window down. I started telling him, hey, you ever met a flat earther? And what do you know about the Guidestones? And he goes, oh, I got something for you. Like, go leave. I look at Austin like, what is this guy getting for us? How weird. He has business cards about information on the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah.
His dad got the contract to build the Georgia Guidestones. So crazy. Yeah. Insane. Another crazy synchronicity. We showed up at 2:30 in the morning, perfect weather. As soon as our time lapse started to finish, like as soon as it was done, clouds immediately into the frame where our picture was.
Yeah.
Then we went back the next day to do the drone, and I'm watching the weather all day, right? And I'm like, it's gonna rain eventually. It's gonna rain. 2 minutes before we get there, it starts raining, and I'm like, no, don't worry. Y'all's gonna get it this for us. We got this, right? So we show up, it stops raining for 10 minutes, bro.
Yes, right.
Literally enough time for us to just put the drone up in the air, fly it around. Crazy. And then it's just been amazing. There's been so many things going on.
Wait till you see the footage.
Yeah, every day there's been stuff going on, and we're just trying to share the truth. I always say, be the change you want to see on Flat Earth.
Amen.
Yeshua said, service to many leads to greatness. So he served everyone by dying for everyone's sins.
Amen.
It's the biggest servant ever. So, and everyone knows his name. Well, they know this, what they call, whatever, what they think his name is.
Right.
So it's just incredible, to have this opportunity to be called and go out there, to be free. I feel free as a bird when a lot of people are super stressed out and things aren't going so well. I'm protected and taken care of, and I'm super happy. I have nothing to worry about. It's the same how Scripture says in Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who walks in the ways, meditates day and night on Yah's law, on the Torah, on what we should be doing. He keeps his commandments. That's why I started wearing tzitzis, and I thought it was dumb for 5 years. Because I told Zen the other night, you don't become a Christian, jump on a balance beam, and start walking perfectly. No, you become a Christian, you're like, holy moly, I'm addicted to cocaine. I go to a strip club all the time, and I'm stealing money from my boss, and you're just a crazy vampire in a meat suit. He's like addicted to blood. Literally, like you go to the grocery store, you buy dead meat, and you're addicted to it, and when someone says, hey, you should stop, you're like ravenously crazy. It happens to me all the time. So, we're just trying to be an example for people is what I'm saying, and not talk the talk, but actually walk the walk. And in all aspects. One thing I noticed is I don't care how woke you are, bro. You're top of the totem pole on YouTube, Flat Earth. Everyone's got something to work on.
Yes, we're not.
Everyone's got something to work on, bro. Right. Some people need to keep their home tidy. Your home, you don't need to keep tidy. It's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people need to work on their language. They're constantly cursing and they don't guard their tongue.
Yes. And damning stuff.
And damning things, exactly. And cursing. Yes. And so all kinds of things. Some people need to work on their health. I think everyone needs to work. What person doesn't need to work on their health? You know what I mean? Just at least be mindful of the things you eat, exercise. I highly recommend checking out Dr. Sebi. That guy was incredible. He got sued for curing cancer, diabetes, lupus, AIDS, herpes, like all this stuff. And he won. He beat the government. Good for him. Yeah, he beat the government. And then he died a few years later. But he was a terrain theorist, not a germ theorist. Now, I don't know. Can we edit this out later? I want to say something that might get you.
Sure,
so if we need to edit it out, the PCR test was developed by a guy called Kerry Mullis. He got a Nobel Peace Prize, not a Peace Prize, but a Nobel Prize for science in 1993. He said the PCR test does not detect free infectious viruses at all. It cannot tell you if you're sick. He died months before COVID. And he was calling Fauci a fraud over and over again publicly. Like, this guy's a fake scientist. He's a pseudoscientist. So they told you the test doesn't work. That's the test they're using to tell everyone, oh, you got to stick it 8 inches up your nose and tickle your brain. Right. And now they're saying, just put it in the rectum, bro. How crazy is that? Yeah, so the people up top have to just be laughing at everyone.
Oh, they fully are.
Yeah, they're like,
always have been.
We're going to have this huge story about how this guy can't breathe. Then we're going to make him wear a mask, and people are literally going to put, I can't breathe on the mask. And then months later, we're going to be like,
cover themselves so they can't breathe.
The flu's going to disappear 98%, but COVID's going to have all the same symptoms as the common flu. Right. And then we're going to tell them to put on 2 masks. Yeah, because one's not enough. You know what? Actually, just put a pillow over your head and wrap around with a rope or some duct tape.
With some loopholes.
Yeah, little holes and then goggles, right? Because you the COVID in your eyeballs.
Yeah, because you could get infected that way.
They could just tell people, hey guys, because of Earth's electromagnetic field, COVID can't get within 3 feet. So if you crawl to all the stores on your hands and knees, and there would be people crawling in the cities like, get down, you're going to kill my grandma.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're like, shut up, dude, you're so dumb. So, sorry for yelling, but it's just crazy. That's why we call it the Clown World Tour, dude. It's so crazy. So, honestly, we have been having so much fun. Thank you for hosting, Zen. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to come on, talk about this. So, guys, we have spy glasses, GoPros, we got a drone, we got Nikon. I'd love to do a Star Trail video above your house. Maybe we could close this video out with that Star Trail video.
Yeah, sounds good.
So one thing I want to do is if we come and stay with you, I want to show you what's going on above your head every night. So I'll do a 2.5 hour time lapse.
So you know where the altar of God is.
There you go. You know where he's at.
The throne room of the Most High.
You know where he's at, bro. That's where he's at. They literally drew a little hole in the Georgia Guidestones, right, pointing at him.
Right, exactly, yes.
Gosh. Yes. And they're mocking him. This is mocking in his face. You know, look, we're going to tell everyone you're not real and then design all this stuff proving that you're real and that there's a creator and that there's logos and there's order and it's not chaos.
Everything's hidden in plain sight. They're all laughing at us because of all the foolishness that they have people believing in.
Yeah.
So what's the website?
Well, we have the 2 YouTubes, Wits It, Gets It, and mine is Be The Change. Website to order flyers is www.feflyers.com. My Instagram is theglobeisflat. Email is flatearthflyers@gmail.com. So if you have any questions or you want to meet us on tour, please email me. What else did we not cover? Oh, also wanted to say this. All things work towards good for those that love Yah and are called according to his purpose. I hear people all the time like complaining and just crying about things. And I'm like, dude, you're just a crybaby.
Like, use that energy to make the change.
Make the change, exactly. Yes. You're going through that for a reason.
Yes.
It's not like he doesn't have it all figured out.
Yes.
He's molding us and shaping us and separating the wheat from the tares.
Exactly.
And I get a lot of hate on the internet, but they don't understand. They don't know the scriptures. I party when people hate on me. It says, rejoice.
Yes.
Rejoice when people revile you and curse you and speak all kinds of evil against you falsely for my name's sake.
Yes.
For him, this guy upstairs that we all serve and hopefully serve. I know Zen's got a great audience, so I know there's going to be some people out there that this reaches, maybe pulls on your heartstrings. If you feel like supporting the Clown World Tour in your heart, please do. If you don't, I don't want you to.
Is there donations
somewhere? Yeah, you can donate on PayPal. It's paypal.me/keepitflat. Also, $GodsFlatEarth on Cashapp. And if you need all those links or you have any questions, just email me, flatearthflyers@gmail.com. Send me a number. I'll call you right away. I'm doing this full time, guys. I'm making like 30 phone calls a day to Flat Earthers. We just linked up with Greg, who's got a Flat Earth Finder app. So you can find Flat Earthers in the air. We downloaded it. And
awesome.
My buddy in the RV goes, oh, Sacred Word Publishing is right next to me. And I was like, that's Zen. He didn't even know it was you, because Chris isn't like as in with the community as we are. I thought that was funny, bro.
That's awesome.
So, and he's been such a blessing, dude. And to be honest, Chris wasn't a professing Christian at first. He just enjoyed my activism and thought people needed to wake up because of everything going on. And he feels bad for people being lied to, and I do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really sad. And that's another thing too is people have a hard time sharing this, but if you don't share it, it just gets worse. It's not going to get better if we don't do something about it.
You gotta sound the trumpet.
Yeah. So uncomfortable truths now are better than like colossal mishaps later on and falsehoods. If you can nip it in the bud now, because the problem with them is once you tell one lie, they have to tell like 100 other lies, and then those 100 other lies, you got to tell 100 more lies. So all our friends and family are just swimming in a sea of garbage.
Yes.
And that's why I love what Zen does. Just focuses on the truth, focus on the word, tries to be a good example. You know, he's not just on YouTube, blah, 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 say whatever, and then does something totally different behind the scenes. Who you see on the screen is what Zen is. He's amazing. So, great host. If you're ever in Atlanta, try and get a hold of him. We're coming to you guys. Be the change you want to see, guys. Remember, truth is incontrovertible. The malice will attack it. Ignorance will try and deride it, but in the end, there it is. Love is patient and kind. It's not jealous, boastful, proud, or rude. Doesn't demand its own way. Doesn't get irritated. Keeps no record of anything anyone ever does wrong. So, like, let's say there's some creepy old guy who runs the world and sniffs kids. Well, should you keep record of it? According to Yah, no, we shouldn't.
He'll get his. Justice always prevails.
Yeah, the truth will set you free, and the truth's going to win in the end. Yes. So it already has won. We're just watching it all play out.
Right, all play out, exactly.
You know? It's like we already know the score at the end of the game, but it's like halftime, and we're all like having drinks. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. So
more than halftime, but yeah,
it's more than halftime. Yeah. Well, we might have 1,000 more years to go.
We'll see.
I know.
I know we have the millennial reign to go, but
yeah, so definitely. We still got some time.
Yeah.
But I was wondering tonight, can we do a fire out back?
Yeah, there's a fire
later on tonight. I saw it. So let's do a fire out back. And thanks, guys. I hope to hear from you in the email or see you on the road. Thanks, Zen, for the opportunity to get the word out and tell people what we're doing. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, blessings, though.